Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Liquid Health News. News that you can use. I am your host, Jefferson Nunn, and we have a lot of news for you today. Stuff that's going on that's just absolutely crazy and insane. And I would encourage you, if you're in a toxic environment, to just do your best to get out of it. We're working on a lot of fronts to try to come up with ways and technology and so forth to make this easier. In the meantime, I would encourage you to tune in and listen to us for a few moments on what we have to say. It could make a difference in your life. Why should you listen to me? You might ask. Well, I am somebody that for more than a year was exposed to many different types of toxic mold. I have continuous tinnitus, that sometimes is extremely loud and it's very hard to just even focus on getting through a day or a night. It makes it very hard to sleep, even with the constant ringing. And it feels like it's even pounding the nerves in my head. And that's just the first symptom. I also have continuous pains all over my body. Um, On a good day, I might be like about a 3, which is mostly uncomfortable. On a bad day, like a few days ago, it's about a 5 or a 6, and I just try to lay down in bed. And that's just the pain all over my body. And where I'm at right now is, it doesn't matter. If I could pass on one piece of Zen advice, is to never give up, but to give in to whatever is going on and to just do what you can. It's like air, we just let it be what it's going to be. And if you can move, you move. And if you can't, you don't. And that's the end of it. There's no happiness about it, there's no sadness about it. It's like air. It's just something that exists. And that, if you can get to that state of mind and that state of being while being in this condition, that's probably going to be about the best that I can offer. In the meantime, we have millions of more people being exposed to toxic metals. The nations, in the United States anyway, leading baby food brands have included toxic chemicals and metals, arsenic, lead, cadmium, mercury. These are ones that do not go away ever. These are ones that bind to the bones in your body. And so companies like, Earth's Best Organic, you know, Beech Nut, Gerber, Happy Family, Campbell Soup Company, Walmart, Sprout Food. All of these companies are including harmful metals in the food and poisoning our babies. And they're fighting it. They're saying, no, we're okay, we're fine, we're complying with all applicable laws. We don't care about your babies. I'll share with you a story. This is true, by the way. In China, there was a baby food company that knowingly included toxic materials in the baby milk. It was baby powder, right? maple milk. And several babies around the world died. China arrested the CEO and CFO of that company. And after a very short trial, I think about a month, they were executed. Yet in this country, these babies will end up with lifelong diseases and possibly die in the name of money. There's a fungus that is now deadlier than COVID 19 that has been discovered. It's called Candida auris. All right, it's a yeast like fungus that resembles the Black Plague. If it gets into your body, you die. There is no known cure. And yet, this mold can withstand all kinds of surfaces. So if it gets in your body and you drive to the hospital and you go all over the hospital, everybody in the hospital could die. And people that are in that hospital, they go out from that hospital. It's like the zombie plague. And there was a small outbreak in July 2020, in the middle of all this that's been going on, where 35 patients were diagnosed across 4 floors and 5 wings of the hospital, and 8 people died from it. And they tried to disinfect and everything else, and it even withstand it. This fungus can withstand common disinfectants. It is more fatal than COVID 19, and it is a fungus, a mold. Mold kills indiscriminately, and it can be very hard to manage. There are some bacteria they have discovered that it's a microorganism, this one, that produces a toxin. All right. And once you get it, it can spread from person to person, and it can also be another, outbreak type of thing from people coughing and sneezing. And this toxin gets into the body, and it can lead to lifelong damage of the heart and of the brain and of nerves all over the body. So there's a lot of issues going on today in the world, and there isn't enough general attention on it. If you go and tune in to the usual news of the day, they don't talk about these things. They don't cover these massive, massive issues. And it's concerning. It's very, very concerning that there isn't a national effort to observe and to remediate these types of toxins. There's food poisoning that you can get just from having toxins in the body. And each one of these things, they damage your body and it can lead to more problems. And for these reasons, it's important that we try to collaborate on these types of issues all together so that we can effect positive changes around this. And that's what Biotoxin Foundation is about. Hopefully, in the next month, the Biotoxin Foundation will be more online and able to help individuals with these issues. It's been a journey to try to get this off the ground with very little help. There's only a few of us trying to make a difference as far as the foundation's concerned, but we are trying our best. We really are. Along with that, Solve.care is also trying to make a difference with making telehealth and telemedicine more available. So, along with this, let's take a look at the news of the day. On the forums, there are questions. For example, this one person, uh, Debbie, shared the live video from an individual that says, Eric Neptune, that says, he may be a national security threat. It's entirely possible. They're trying to suppress this information, but we're going to do what we can to get this information out there to as many people as we can. There's somebody that says mold illness is causing a massive issue, insomnia, anxiety, derealization, brain fog, confusion, dizziness, so on, full body pain. So, what I would recommend, at least to start with, for insomnia, and by the way, I'll go back to if you're in this situation, your best bet is to try to make one change every day and to try that. And I've mentioned this in a prior episode. There's a medicine, well, supplement that you can take that tends to make a little bit of a difference. If I can find it, I don't know where I put it. But in any case, I mean, I have my days like today where I have lots of brain fog. But here we go. It's called Keep Calm. And I would recommend this over others because it tends to help, but it's got a lot of really good things in it, along with like vitamin C, which is always good, and thiamine and riboflavin and all those things. Those are just things that just help regulate the body. Vitamin B6 and magnesium, again, all good things. But for, helping you to be able to sleep at night, it's got lemon balm, valerian root powder, GABA, ashwagandha, 5-HTP, and melatonin, all in one. It's great. You start with one. You take one, see if it works. Take two, see if it works. Take three. If you're taking three, I'm pretty sure that's going to knock almost anybody out for a night. And the thing is, if you haven't had sleep for a while, more than a week, and you haven't had a solid more than like 3 hours for more than a week, then it's going to take again a while before things get back to normal. In my own case, it took 6 months of just trying to get the sleep thing to go before I ever got anywhere close to normal again. And of course, now that I'm somewhat sleeping more than 5 hours a night, it's made a huge difference in getting through a day. So that's what I'm trying to say. If you've been out of it for a while, it's going to take a while to get back into it. Don't expect an overnight change. It's it's going to be a bit. Somebody else was asking what's a good, filter for BCS. BCS is a larger volatile chemicals, right? They're larger molecules, in most cases larger than sometimes viruses. So if you want to filter that out. The cheapest way, and I mentioned this on a prior show, is to get a box fan and stick a filter on it. Um, you want an activated carbon filter because that's what'll attract those kind of molecules. And the cheapest one I found is made by a company called TrueSense. Um, put one in every room and change the filters often. They have the viral filters, the antiviral filters. Stick one of those on in every one of these things, and it just runs 24/7. It's super quiet. Um, best that I've found so far. And I'm just trying to check through. There's a number of these different random summits and whatnot. Sure, you can go to these different summits and whatnot. Just I always question the motives of the people behind them, because usually, there's no such thing as free in life. So there's a summit coming up this week called the DIY Detox Summit. If you guys go, I would certainly welcome a report back on what you guys find. Any questions, definitely, be sure to ask. There's another body electric summit, something about energy frequency and vibrational healing. Again, I question that because most of these moles and things like that, they're a physical thing and you have to physically get rid of it. Sure, trying to put yourself in a higher state of mind can help. It can open you up to possibilities and things like that. But the main thing is to realize there's going to be some actual work involved to try to get these toxins out of the body so that you can heal. As far as mattresses go, um, one of the things I found is it's best to try to protect the mattresses themselves from anything being able to get into the mattress, and then to have, you know, stuff on the outside of the mattress that you can more easily replace or wash. So to that end, the plastic bag that's around the mattress, you can leave that plastic bag on the mattress, or you can get several layers, like the ones that they use to protect babies and stuff like that. So you get that over the mattress, and then you put, you know, other layers on top of that, and then you put your sheets on top of that, right? So now you can wash all of those things that are on top of the mattress without having to replace the mattress and exposing the mattress to mold. So that's one way to do it. And that on top of running air filters in every room, especially the bedroom. That way the mold spores will likely be filtered out. And again, I see somebody else talking about zeolite. I've talked about this on prior episodes. I've not seen any zeolite that's been aluminum free. Therefore, I do not recommend it. And if you're living in a house with mold, as this person says they are, just find a way to get out of the house, just somehow. So that's our show for today so far. Several people have messaged us through the Biotoxin Foundation. Uh, there's only myself and one other person that's trying to make the difference within our foundation. We can use help, um, any sort of help to apply for grants, to get the message out there. I'm proposing that we organize under one banner, Biotoxin Foundation. We welcome anybody and everybody to help us to make this difference. Join us. And that's our show. Take care.